Hi, I'm Julie Croston. I coordinate the Art and Science in One program for Cambridge School volunteers. In that program, we go outdoors with each kid having their own volunteer mentor outdoors, and we each keep a nature journal. That just means writing down and drawing what you're seeing when you're outside. And when we go out every single week, we see lots of changes, even in the same plant or the same area. Things look very different over time. And lots of scientists and researchers have kept nature journals, but you don't have to be a scientist or a researcher to keep one. Some people just do it for themselves. You can make your own nature journal, and that's what I'm here today to talk about. It's actually pretty easy. When we're in our program, we use a regular notebook that we have purchased. So this one is 30 sheets. It's got plain white paper, and it's joined at the top like this. Sometimes we use a bigger one. Here's another example. But these are a little bit expensive, and there's no reason you can't make your own journal. I'll show you some that I've made or that I have worked with kids to make. Here's one that is very thin. It is made with just regular copy paper inside. See? Which is folded in half. And it's made by using a stapler. Because staples are sharp, we covered that up with some duct tape. And we decorated the front, which you can do however you want, with rubber stamps or by coloring it or whatever way you want to decorate it. And putting your name on it isn't a bad idea. But it's pretty simple to make something like this. It doesn't take very long. Another example is this one. So instead of using a stapler for this one, we punched some holes, actually 2 holes if you can see it, in the cardboard in the front and the back. And then we strung some twine. You could use yarn, you could use dental floss, or you could use really almost anything that was strong enough. I wouldn't recommend using yarn that's very loose and fluffy because that might break. But that is how the book is held together, the cardboard outer part and the typing paper inner part. Here, I'm going to try to show you this. And guess what it's made out of? Ho ho! It is made out of a used cardboard box that somebody's, not mine, cake mix came in. But you can't tell when you use the inside of the box as the outside of your book. What I like about this one is that the cardboard is pretty thick compared to this one. This isn't really even cardboard, this one I just showed you. It's very bendy. That makes it hard to write in, and it can get bent up really easily if you're carrying it in your backpack before you go outside or whatever. So I definitely recommend using a cardboard that's at least a little bit thick. If you're looking around in your house for something to make your nature journal with, and I do recommend using whatever you happen to have around, you want to be careful not to use this kind of cardboard. It's called corrugated cardboard, but if you feel it, you can see that it's got some ridges and some texture, and that's going to make it hard for you to have your drawing come out the way you want, your drawing or your writing in the book. So a lot of big boxes are made out of corrugated cardboard. But the kind of cardboard that you could use might be something like a package, a food package. Once you start nature journaling, which means just going outside and keeping track of what you see and drawing exactly what you see, keeping track of things, you'll figure out what size of nature journal is best for you. Some people like to draw and make lots of observations on a big sheet, and other people like a smaller one, and smaller ones are easier to carry if you're going to take it somewhere further away. If you're interested in getting ideas about what nature journaling is, check out Sophie Webb's book, My Season with the Penguins, and her book called Looking at Seabirds. Now, she is a biologist, and she actually did go to Antarctica, and she made a book, which it's a children's book, but it's pretty interesting for adults as well. She's illustrating her story about penguins with her drawings, but here she recorded a day-old chick, and then a slightly older chick, and then a penguin digging, and then what the empty nest looks like. So it's kind of like keeping track of things that happened over time sometimes. That's what one thing the Nature Journal can do. A banded penguin sleeping and stretching and then wanting you to get out. So here she recorded different positions and body language of penguins. And that is a form of nature journaling. Now, it's hard around here to get close to animals and be quiet enough that they won't notice you, and that you could study some of the ways that they behave and put them all in a nature journal. But there's lots of other things you can do. And I've talked about this in the last video that I made, which is also on our website. Shaggy bark. So this is my tree. This is actually all connected. And I would say some branches are lying on the ground, which we'll look at when we go over there more closely. Basically, you can draw a tree and everything around the tree. You can make lists of things that you are seeing in a certain place. You can make lists of things and sketches of things that you see along a certain path that you take or a certain street that you walk down. So there's lots of resources on our website, and that will be added to our website about nature journaling. Have fun outdoors nature journaling. If you go out, be sure you keep at least 6 feet away from anybody, preferably more, and wear a mask.